DeSean Jackson wants to come back to Philly. I would bring him back in a second under one condition. Also, Demarcus Lawrence, don't you ever doubt Jalen Hurts. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and happy Football Friday to all you Dingbats out there. I hope each and every one of you guys are having a great day. Can you believe it? DeSean Jackson wants to come back to Philly. He's ready to come back to Philly. And you know what? We may have to take him. He may be a lifesaver also. Demarcus Lawrence and the Cowboys talking that crap, giving the Eagles bulletin board material. You want to go and doubt Jalen Hurts? You want to doubt him? Do it at your own risk, because the Eagles, they're coming for Dallas. We're going to double moonwalk that ass in 2 days. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. We will be streaming Eagles Cowboys Sunday night, and it's going to be crazy. Also, you know the deal. If you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, I don't know, my nose itches. Why is my nose itch? All I know is this. And I wasn't doing cocaine. That just wasn't happening. But my nose itched. But I don't know where to start. Do I want to start with DeSean Jackson, or do I want to start with Demarcus Lawrence? Both things are very interesting in my opinion. Let's start with DeSean Jackson, okay? Let's start with my man D-Jax. Now, there has been a lot of, I guess, kind of like joking around and stuff by Eagle fans, including myself, like, hey, yeah, look, if you get DeSean Jackson back, bring him back, all that kind of stuff. But it looks like there's actual possibility that this could happen. Okay, here's what DeSean Jackson, he was on a podcast, and he was talking about his career, where it's at, and this is what he said. Hell nah, I ain't retired. I'm a free agent and ready to go. DeSean Jackson on if he's ready to retire from the NFL. The free agent wide receiver named the Eagles and Packers as potential destinations. Nah, hell nah, I'm not retired. I'm a free agent ready to go, Jackson said Thursday night during a live taping of I Am Athlete podcast in Philly. Jackson added he would like to play for the Philadelphia Eagles or Green Bay Packers if he signed by an NFL team. The 14-year veteran has spent 8 seasons and 2 stints with the Eagles. He split his 2021 campaign with the Rams and the Raiders, compiling 20 catches for 454 yards and 2 touchdowns. DeSean Jackson still has speed. There's no question about it. He is, in my opinion, maybe one of the greatest deep threats, if not the greatest deep threat ever play. Okay? He wasn't always like a totally complete receiver. He wasn't that. But as far as a deep threat went, he was out of this world. Okay? Now, you might be saying to me, Philly 500, why would we want to bring DeSean Jackson back? He's old. He'd probably pull a hamstring, all those kind of things. This is my thinking, okay? If I could bring DeSean Jackson in with the Philadelphia Eagles, with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, right? If I could bring him on to go along with those guys, you would, one, add a veteran presence, which you already kind of have with A.J. Brown, but somebody a little older, maybe that would be good for a guy like Devontae Smith. But most importantly, and this is where I'm going with this whole thing with DeSean Jackson, okay? To me, it's not about him being receiver. I want DeSean Jackson if he wants to do punt returns. Okay, that's what I'm going to say to him. I'm going to say, listen, DeSean, we'll come in, we'll bring you. You could be 4th, 5th wide receiver. We rotate you in depending on plays and certain situations. But most important for us, we want you to return punts. We want you to return punts, return kicks. DeSean Jackson, I believe, still can do that. He still can do it better than anybody on the Eagles team right now. Right now. Now, would DeSean Jackson, a veteran guy that played for 14 years, want to come in and be relegated to basically a special teamer? Would he want to do that? I don't know. If you pay him enough money, maybe he would. But this would solve, in my opinion, the biggest, weakest scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is their punt return game. Their return game, their special teams has been awful. The one thing that I'm very scared of going into this game versus the Cowboys is the special teams. I don't want to give up a big kick at the end of the game. I don't want to see Covey fumble or something in a close game, something like that if the situation presents itself. I worry about that. I have nightmares every night I go to bed. I'm scared about our special teams. I'm afraid it's going to cost us a game or two if we don't try to upgrade it. DeSean Jackson may be the perfect guy, okay? He may be the perfect guy to bring in and do it. Now, the problem is going to be is he's a veteran. He was a former All-Pro. He has a great career. Is he going to want to be relegated to that? Is he going to want to take that kind of role? That I don't know. But at least try, negotiate with him. The fact that he said the Eagles or the Packers tells me maybe that there's some interest by the Eagles. Maybe there's, some feelers out there, and that's his way of saying, hey, I'm interested. But if I could get DeSean Jackson in primarily to be punt returner and share that fourth wide receiver spot with Zach Pascal, I would do it. I mean, there's times you could, he's going to play receiver. I'm not saying he won't ever play receiver, but he'll be the fourth or fifth wide receiver. Meanwhile, he will be your guy on special teams. And then, you cut Covey, you waive him, and hopefully he clears waivers, and then you put him on the practice squad, and that's that. I would definitely try to get DeSean Jackson if possible. It's very interesting that he could be interested in it, and we're going to see. Now, the other thing that I got to talk about is Dallas Cowboys and Demarcus Lawrence. Demarcus, I can never beat Lane Johnson Lawrence. He wants to talk that crap. The Cowboys act, and their fans act like they have the 1985 Bears defense, the 1991 Philadelphia Eagles defense, that they have some dominating defense that nobody could do anything on. Not the case. They have gone up against offenses that are really not even in the top 15 of offenses. I think the best offense they went up, if I remember, people were telling me in the game last night's chat, it was the 19th or 20th by Washington. That was the best offense they faced. Now they got to face the number 2 offense. So everybody acts like they're great, and obviously the players think that they're that good. And Demarcus Lawrence, he was getting asked about Jalen Hurts. What does he think about Jalen Hurts and his development this year and things like that? And usually, you try to give players on the other team you're going against, you try to give them some credit. You try to give them something, right? Like last week when Jalen Hurts was very complimentary of the Arizona Cardinals, right? So you try to do that. But Demarcus Lawrence wasn't having it. And I actually respect him for not having it. Be honest. Say what you think. I could deal with that. But he's got a big surprise coming. But here's what he said. Demarcus Lawrence, when asked if Philly quarterback Jalen Hurts is playing better, here's what he said. Has he played us? Lawrence asked. All right. All you need to write is he hasn't played the Cowboys yet, so we don't know how good he is. Lawrence added that the Eagles' offense would be a good challenge, arguably the best they've played this season. That's right, we are. But also, we them boys. You them boys. We them men, Lawrence. We them men, you them boys. But he says we them boys, Lawrence said. Remember that. Don't worry about it. You all will see it on Sunday. And then after the third or fourth question on Hurts, how about this, Lawrence said. This is the last question I'll hear about Hurts. For real, though, because I really don't care. So, my thought is this. DeMarcus Lawrence, they think their defense is something great, something nobody has seen, something nobody has gone against all year, and somehow the Eagles are going to come in and they're going to have a problem with Dallas's defense. It ain't the case. The Eagles look like they're going to be healthy, and we're going to get the injury reports later today. I'm waiting for that final injury report before I do my my preview prediction video. But to me, it looks like Jordan Mailata's going to go. It looks like Kelsey's going. It looks like Landon Dickerson's going. It looks like our offensive line is going to be ready to go. That offensive line is good. Now, I think a guy like Parsons is going to get his. I think Dallas is going to at times get pressure. It's going to happen. They have a good defensive line. But to think that the Eagles can't move the ball on you is crazy. You got Trevon Diggs. You all think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Overrated. Who's he going to play? He's going to guard A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown will eat him alive. I expect A.J. Brown to have a monster game if Diggs is on him. I think the big physical receiver like A.J. Brown is going to drive Trevon Diggs nuts. I think it's going to be so bad at one point that they're actually going to go ahead and take Diggs off of Brown and try to stop Brown another way because he's going to have a problem. And if he wants to play Devontae Smith, fine. And even if he was doing a good job on Brown, who's got Devontae Smith? Who's got Dallas Goedert? Who's got those guys? The Eagles are loaded offensively. This is the best offense that they've played. And Jalen Hurts is a lot better than people think. And this is the game. I think no matter what happens, well, when the Eagles win, but I think across the league, nationally, I think when the Eagles beat Dallas, the only people that are going to be making excuses are Dallas. Everybody else will finally recognize what us Eagle fans have seen from Jalen Hurts all along. And I hope Jalen Hurts is reading this. I hope it's soaking in. And I hope he goes out there and kills his team. I think the Eagles are going to come out firing on all cylinders. I think Dallas is walking into a buzzsaw. But Demarcus Lawrence wants to talk that crap because them boys stink. We them men. And we're coming to double moonwalk that ass. With that said, take care. Talk to you all later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So I actually forgot a whole part of what Demarcus Lawrence said. I kind of wanted to bring this up because I felt bad that I didn't include this. But after he was asked, third, fourth time about Hurts, then he was asked about how good the Eagles' offense overall was. And this is what he said. This was Demarcus Lawrence said. You're asking me questions like I should be worried about them, Lawrence said. Never worried, never scared, never quivering from any situation. I just want you all to understand we're coming to play too. So, Dallas is coming to play. They're not scared. They're not quivering. Well, I want to know this. Were you quivering last year when you played the 49ers at home? Were you shaking when you played the 49ers at home? Were you scared then, Demarcus Lawrence? Were you scared when the Dallas Cowboys had to play the 49ers? Well, no? That's great. So nobody cares that you're scared or not. You got to come play the game no matter what. And the Eagles are going to be ready to go. Get ready for all-out war. Denzel Washington.